call this meeting back to order. Thank you everyone for your patience. We received an updated registrants list, and I do notice that we have Jeremy Ryan registered for agenda item number 2. We don't have an agenda item number 2 on this agenda, so I wonder if there might have been a mistake or if you were registering for a future meeting. So if there are no objections from the committee, we can unmute Jeremy, because this could have been a mistake and may as well be registering for this item. So we will unmute you.
Yeah, the website was actually horrible, and it didn't have any agenda items listed. It didn't have the numbers listed, and so that's the problem. But also, as a point of order, and I hope this doesn't take from my time, I would like to request the ability to have video so that people who are hard of hearing are able to read my lips. It seems like banning video is disability discrimination, and I don't think the city wants to go down that avenue.
Thank you for sharing that. With regards to the video, I am just going by the instructions that we have been provided by the city attorney. So I believe this would be something that would have to be brought up with the city attorney's office. However, I will allow Alder Heck to comment.
Thanks. You bring up a good point, Jeremy, and the types of access issues have been, of various types have been brought up, and I think that the city is working on policy revisions as we're now, 6 months into the pandemic and virtual meetings, and we need to change this. So I think there will be movement on that, but for now, it's not the policy. I'm sorry.
I would like it notated that I object to that, and I think that the city should move their ass along, because that's discrimination against people with disabilities, and that shouldn't be allowed for 1 minute, 1 second, 1 hour. And all of you are responsible for that, for not getting it to move forward. So I would appreciate that for people who are disabled, that you do better and you do it quickly.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I see Brenda has her hand raised.
I believe the city attorney is with us, and I'm wondering if he would have any advice for us on that matter. I would have no objection to turning on the video, but I understand for some reason it's not allowed, which I understand. So could the city attorney maybe answer the question for us?
Yes, we'll unmute the city attorney, and I'd like to go on the record saying I also would have no objection to it if we are allowed. So.
I'm working and trying to unmute him. It's not. Oh, there we go. Go ahead, Attorney Haas.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So, sorry, I'm trying to cover sort of 2 meetings at the same time. And I just caught part of what the speaker was saying. I really have not been involved in the drafting the policies about, who's on camera and who's on, muted and unmuted. So it's certainly something we can take a look at. There may be issues I'm not aware of from the IT perspective as far as what's in the policy and what's not in the policy. So I'm just, not prepared right now to say that there should be any change to it until we consult with the people who created the policy.
6 months is too long, Mr. Haas. So I would recommend you get on that tomorrow.
Thank you.
I see Brenda, you have your hand raised.
I'm done.
Okay. So from my understanding then, Attorney Haas, we are not allowed to turn on the video, even if there would be no objections from the members of this body.
No, I didn't say that. If the committee wants to, to turn on the video and has that capability, I think you can. All I'm saying is I'm not going to on the spot say let's change the policy. That was not involved in creating, and I assume there's some thought that went into it, and there's reasons for why it is what it is. So if you want to turn on the video for speakers, I would say go ahead and do it.
I'd move, since Jeremy requested the video be on, that we allow that to happen for now.
I would second that. Are there any objections to allowing Jeremy to have his video on? I'm seeing none, so we will allow you to have your video on.
All right, I appreciate that. So what I was going to say is that we don't really have a problem with the police being underfunded in this city. We have a problem with them being overfunded and not spending their funds the right way. I mean, if we want to look at some ways to start cutting costs, we should look into the SWAT team, and we should look into all of the things that they do. Most of the drug raids in Madison are marijuana related. I don't think we need to be putting all those resources towards a plant that's actually casual possession is decriminalized in the city. And so we can cut a lot of money there. We can cut a lot of money in the officers that are patrolling the streets, that are patrolling the streets and harassing people. We can cut a lot of money where they're harassing the homeless people. But the bottom line is that crime follows poverty. Poverty and crime have a direct correlation. No matter how much money you throw at the police department, they're going to continue to have the same problems that they have until they're actually worked for and until we start working on the poverty situation in Madison, which is unfortunately getting worse, and unfortunately isn't going to get any better anytime soon, as far as it looks like. The coronavirus problem isn't a problem that we have to look at for this year. That's a problem we have to start looking at for the next 4, 5, maybe 10 years. Maybe it's never going to go away. And so we have to really start working on community resources, mental health, homelessness, housing, all of that. And that's where most of the police money should be spent. I mean, it's a statistical fact that it's almost impossible. It almost never happens where a police officer actually responds to a crime while it's happening. It's a fallacy. The police come afterwards, even violent crimes. The police come afterwards and investigate that. Some of those investigative services for violent crimes, we definitely need those. I'll agree with that. But the majority of what the police do, we don't actually necessarily need. And so I think that it would be wise to start looking at cutting the budget further than is proposed and start forcing the Madison Police Department to actually allocate the resources towards the best things, which they have a horrible job of. But usually if you have like a kid, you start with a small budget and then you wait till they know how to manage that and then you move up. Madison PD is definitely in their infancy as far as intelligence and as far as the tactics that they employ. And so we need to relook at everything and start restructuring from the bottom. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Do we have any questions for the speaker? I am seeing none. Thank you so much for speaking.